Hello everyone, I welcome you all for the first session of the second chapter, Units and Measurements. First of all, let us see what is the weightage of this chapter and how the questions are going to ask in this chapter. The weightage of this chapter is 3 marks. In your question paper, the first main contains 10 marks, so each question carries 1 mark. So there will be a 1 mark question from the first main, and in the second main they may ask a 2 mark question. So 2 plus 1, 3 mark. Or they may ask a 3 mark question from the third main, direct 3 mark question from the third main, and this is how the pattern of questions will look like in this chapter. So the weightage is 3 marks. The marks can be divided like this: 1 mark and 2 mark from the first and second main, or in the third main directly a 3 mark question. Now let us write what are the concepts that we are going to see in this session. So these are the concepts that we are going to cover in this class. What is a physical quantity and how do we represent a physical quantity? Then what is unit of measurement, and then types of units, system of units, and then SI units. Before going into the topic, first we need to understand what do you mean by a counting and measurement, the difference between counting and measurement. See, if I ask a question, count the number of doors in our house. ನಾನೊಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಏನಂತ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಬಾಗಿಲುಗಳ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆನ ಎಣಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು? ಸಮ್ 5 doors are there, or 6 or 7 likewise. So while counting, we are assigning a numerical value with that quantity. This is a numerical value, 5, 6, 7, likewise. They are just numerical value. But if I ask one more question, measure the height of the door. I am asking to measure the height of the door. You may say the height of the door is somewhere 2 meter or 6 feet. So here we have measured it. 2 is a numerical value. Along with this numerical value, we have compared it with some reference standard. This is a meter. This is meter. So giving a numerical value, along with that we have compared with a reference called meter. So this meter is called as a unit of measurement. This is unit. And here also 6 feet. The height of the door is 6 feet, means 6 is a numerical value and this feet is a unit of it. So while measuring a physical quantity, we are assigning a numerical value. Along with that, we are providing some unit for that. So measurement requires a unit, but counting does not require any unit. So we have just counted it and we are assigning a numerical value. Count ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ numerical value ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಇದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಏನು ಬರೀಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ನ ಕೂಡ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಆಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದ ಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೆಷರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮೆಷರ್ ಸಮ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್. ಇನ್ಯಾವ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟೀಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 5 liters of water. 5 liters of water. So 5 is a numerical value and liter is a unit of it. Likewise 1 kg of some grain. 1 kg ನಾವು ಕಾಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈ 1 kg ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ 1 is a numerical value and kg is a unit of it. So measurement is nothing but assigning a numerical value along with a unit. 2 meter, 6 feet, 5 liters, 1 kg, likewise. Now the quantities which can be measured using a numerical value with a proper unit, they are called physical quantities. Now I am giving a definition for physical quantity. Physical quantity ಗೆ definition ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. The physical quantities or the quantities which can be measured using a numerical value with a proper unit. So they are all physical quantity. Let us write the definition. Let me write the definition of physical quantity. Physical quantity. The quantities which can be measured using a numerical value with proper unit. So, a physical quantity, they are the quantities which can be measured using a numerical value with proper unit. Let me give some examples for this. We will write the examples of some physical quantities. I am writing the examples of physical quantities. First one, height of the wall is 5 meter. Height of the wall is 5 meter. Let me write one more example. I will write one more example. Mass of the cricket ball is 150 gram. Mass of the cricket ball is 150 gram. That is one more example. Let me write another example. Volume of the cube is 10 cm cube, centimeter cube. I have written some examples of physical quantity. Height. Height is a physical quantity. Here, height is a physical quantity which is measured as 5 meter. Correct? Height is a physical quantity which is measured as 5 meter because it has a numerical value and also it has a unit. Here also, mass of the cricket ball is 150 gram. Here, mass is one more physical quantity which is measured as 150 gram. This is a numerical value and this is a unit of it. Here also, volume of the cube is 10 centimeter cube or cm cube. This is a numerical value and this is a unit of it, and this volume is also a physical quantity. So, if we write the general representation of a physical quantity, how do we represent a physical quantity generally? Here, I can write a physical quantity as a physical quantity is equal to numerical value into unit. See, any physical quantity that can be expressed generally. How do we express a physical quantity? Physical quantity is equal to numerical value into unit. So these three examples are of the same form. You can look at this. Height equal to 5 meter. Mass equal to 150 gram. Volume is equal to 10 cm cube. So a physical quantity is generally represented as Q. This Q is equal to numerical value is N and unit is U. This is how you can represent a physical quantity. So physical quantity Q equal to N into U. So what we have learned here is what is the definition of physical quantity. The physical quantities are those which can be measured using a numerical value along with a proper unit. How do we represent a physical quantity generally? Physical quantity equal to numerical value into unit, or Q is equal to N into U. Q is quantity, N is numerical value, U is a unit of it. So you can see these examples here. Height of the wall is 5 meter. Mass of the cricket ball is 150 gram. Volume of the cube is 10 centimeter cube. So these examples are of this form. We can classify a physical quantity into two types. One is a fundamental physical quantities and the other one is a derived physical quantity. Types of physical quantity. One is a fundamental physical quantity or simply fundamental quantities. Second one is derived quantities. Now let us understand what is fundamental quantities are. If you want to say a physical quantity is a fundamental quantity, they have to be expressed independently. If I write an example for this, length, mass and time. So here we have written an examples of the fundamental quantities. In mechanics, we say length, mass and time, they are called fundamental quantities. Why we have to say these quantities as fundamental quantities? Because they can be expressed independently. See, length is independent of mass, mass is independent of time, time is independent of mass and length. So they can be expressed independently. These quantities are called as fundamental quantities. In order to understand why these are called fundamental quantities, we should know what is a derived quantity. So if you understand what is a derived quantities, then you can understand why these quantities are called as fundamental quantities. Now let us see what are derived quantities. See, what are derived quantities? The quantities which are expressed as the combination of fundamental quantities. Combination of fundamental quantities. So these are called derived quantity. We will give an example for this, then you can understand it better. For example, speed is expressed as, the quantity called speed is expressed as distance divided by time. Distance traveled divided by time taken, or simply we can write speed as distance divided by time. Here this distance is nothing but a length only. The actual length of the path traveled by an object is called as distance, correct? So distance is nothing but length. So we can write the expression as length divided by time, because this distance has a measure of length. We can write this as length by time. So the quantity speed is expressed as length by time, but we said that length and time are fundamental quantities. They are fundamental quantities. The quantity speed is expressed as the combination of two fundamental quantities. So the speed is a derived quantity. We can call speed as a derived quantity because the speed is expressed in terms of two fundamental quantity. Now let us give one more example. Now the second example is volume of a cube. So volume of a cube is expressed as length into breadth into height. So this length, breadth and height. Breadth and height are nothing but length only. So that volume is equal to L power 3. So we have multiplied 3 length there. That is why volume is equal to length cube. So the quantity called volume is expressed as the combination of 3 lengths. Because length is a fundamental quantity, volume becomes a derived quantity. Volume is expressed as the combination of 3 lengths. That is why volume is also a derived quantity. So you can give so many examples for the derived quantity, like force is equal to mass into acceleration. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Acceleration is expressed as velocity by time, and velocity can be expressed as displacement by time. So this quantity force is expressed as the combination of the fundamental quantities. That is why force is also a derived quantity. Like you have momentum and area of a square or area of any surface, They are all derived quantity because they can be expressed as the combination of two or more fundamental quantities. Derived quantities are those which are expressed as the combination of fundamental quantities. What are the examples of derived quantity? We have written speed. Speed is equal to distance by time. So distance is nothing but a length, therefore speed is expressed in terms of length and time. So speed is a derived quantity. Then we expressed volume as length into breadth into height. So we are multiplying three lengths there. Therefore volume becomes a derived quantity. Similarly, force, momentum, area, velocity, acceleration, they are all nothing but derived quantities. That is why length, mass and time, they can be expressed independently. They need not to express as the combination of two or more quantities. So that those length, mass and time, they are called fundamental quantities in mechanics. Now let us see what is a unit of physical quantity. So I told you that any physical quantity is expressed in the form of Q is equal to N into U. Any physical quantity is expressed as N into Q is equal to N into U. Now, if I write height is equal to 10 meter, some height of the wall is equal to 10 meter. Here we had written 10 meter. How can I write this 10 meter again? 10 meter is expressed as 10 into 1 meter. So height is equal to 10 meter. How can we express this 10 meter? 10 into 1 meter. So this 1 meter is nothing but a reference. It is a reference standard where this 1 meter is multiplied 10 times to get a length of 10 meter here. Okay. So 10 into 1 meter, this 1 meter is a reference. So in that reference, that 1 meter is contained 10 times in that quantity to get a 10 meter. So this unity 1 meter, unit is nothing but 1. You can understand unit. Unit antandre 1 anta artha ashtane. So 10 into 1 meter, this 1 meter contained 10 times. That is why the length is 10 meters. So this 1 meter is called as a unit of measurement. This 1 meter is unit of measurement. Similarly, if I write one more example, mass is equal to 50 kg. Mass is equal to 50 kg. How do we write this 50 kg now? 50 into 1 kg. Correct? So this 1 kg is a reference. 1 kg is contained 50 times in that quantity to get a total mass of 50 kg. So this 1 kg is a reference. That reference is nothing but a unit of that quantity. So this 1 kg or 1 meter, and even for force, if force is equal to 10 Newton, 1 Newton is contained 10 times there. That is why they are all called units. Adana navu unit anta karita idivi. Unit is nothing but 1. Let me give a definition for unit now. So the definition for unit is, it is a reference standard in terms of which a quantity or a physical quantity is measured. So here Q is equal to N into U. So for any physical quantity, it must have a unit. Let us write the types of units now. As we know, there are two types of physical quantities: fundamental quantities and derived quantities. Likewise, the types of units are fundamental units and derived units. Fundamental units and derived units. Now you only can guess what are fundamental units. I said that in mechanics, length, mass and time are called fundamental quantities. Length, mass and time are called fundamental quantities. So the units of this length, mass and time are nothing but fundamental units. Suppose if I write the unit of length as meter, or length is also expressed in centimeters and millimeter, foot, they are all nothing but the units of length. Meter, centimeter, millimeter, a kilometer even, feet, they are all nothing but the units of length. So the units of the length is comes under the category of fundamental units. So you just understand that the units of length, mass and time, they are all fundamental units. Likewise, if you write the units of mass, mass is expressed in kilogram, gram, pound. So they are all units of mass. So these units are nothing but fundamental units. Then for time, you have second, minute, hour, etc. So they are all units of time. So the units for the fundamental quantities are called fundamental units. Then what are these derived units? Derived units are those which are expressed as the combination of fundamental units. Suppose if I write the unit of speed is meter per second. So this meter per second is also expressed as meter second power minus 1. So here the unit of speed is expressed in terms of two fundamental units, because meter and second are fundamental units. That is why this meter per second is a derived unit. It is a derived unit. Similarly, the unit of force, let us write the unit of force. Unit of force is Newton, but we can write this Newton as kg meter per second square. Here kg, meter and second, they are all fundamental units. That is why Newton is also a derived unit. Okay, so the units for the derived quantities are nothing but derived units. The units for fundamental quantities are fundamental units, and the units for derived quantities are derived units. That's all. Now we'll move on to the next topic, system of units. I am not going into the detail of this topic. I am just writing what are the three system of units. So these are the three system of units, and we can write what are the units for the fundamental quantities in these three system of units. So in CGS system, the unit of length is centimeter. The unit of mass is gram. Unit of time is second. Next we have FPS system. This is also called British system. In FPS system, the unit of length is foot. The unit of mass is pound, and the unit of time is second. In the third system, MKS system, in this system the unit of length is meter, unit of mass is kilogram, and the unit of time is second. Well, so the CGS system refers to the first term in the centimeter is C. Here the first term of gram is G and the first term of second is S. So that is given in CGS form. So CGS system means centimeter, gram and second. They are the units of fundamental quantities in this system. Similarly for FPS system, foot is the unit of length, pound is the unit of mass, second is a unit of time. And here in MKS system, meter is a unit of length, kilogram is a unit of mass and second is a unit of time. This is about the system of units. Now we will move on to the next one, the SI system. The system of units means the units for the fundamental, a set of units for the fundamental and derived quantities. The different countries have been adopted the different system of units, but in order to make this unit, the system of units that has to be internationally accepted, so they were introduced the SI system. This SI system is nothing but international system of units. to maintain the common units for the physical quantities. So they have adopted this system which is internationally accepted, which is called International System of Units, which is abbreviated as SI system. So in SI system there are 7 fundamental quantities and 2 supplementary quantities. So we are going to write what are the units for those 7 fundamental quantities and also for the 2 supplementary quantities. So that we will take up in the next class. Before ending the class, let me tell you one more topic. We know that any physical quantity Q is expressed as Q is equal to N into U. Suppose we know that in CGS system the unit of length is centimeter. In MKS system the unit of length is meter. And how do we convert centimeter into meter or meter into centimeter? 100 centimeter will be equal to 1 meter. 100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. So we will write this 100 centimeter in terms of this. How do we write this? 100 is N1 and centimeter is U1. I have written N into U, number into unit, as N1 U1 for this system. And for this system, let us write that as into U2. 1 and this meter is U2. So if you write the quantity length in different system of units, the quantity length remains constant. That will be same. The product of this number into unit, that remains constant for this particular quantity. See, N1 U1 is equal to N2 U2. If you write that in another system of unit, then that becomes N3 U3. So this N into U, the number into unit, that remains constant always. Therefore, if you take this U to the denominator, then N is equal to this constant divided by unit U. We can clearly write the number is inversely proportional to unit, which means if the number is big, then the unit will be smaller. You can observe here 100 centimeter. If you compare centimeter and meter, centimeter is a smaller unit. That is why this number is big. And 1 meter. So meter is a larger unit. That is why its number is smaller. So the number is always inversely proportional to the unit for a particular quantity. So N is proportional to 1 by U. So in this session, what are the concepts we have learnt? Firstly, what is a physical quantity? Then what are the types of physical quantities? Then we have learnt about the units and the types of units. Then the system of units, and finally we have learned that a physical quantity Q is equal to N into, if we express any quantity Q is equal to N into U, we can write the number is inversely proportional to the unit for a given quantity. So this is an example for that. That's all for this session. Thank you.